Welcome. Thanks so much for tuning in. Earth Angel Aura here. And I want you to just take in all this beautiful energy right now. If you're tuned into my frequency, you too are feeling these ascension symptoms. I want to go delve a little bit deeper into the significance of this major catalyst of change that many of us that are aware, and even those that are operating below the veil of consciousness, they still can sense that there is something that has shifted energetically. Experiencing this eclipse, this total solar eclipse, was transformative. FYI, I'm going to talk a little bit about administration and how that plays a part into it because it's very relevant. So I know there are gentlemen here that can, enjoy this, my content. However, you may want to tune out about this part. I'm not going to get gory or anything, but, this is very relevant to the feminine collective right now. Prior to this solar eclipse, my cycle came on. It came on very heavy. And in addition to that, I was feeling accession symptoms that are similar to labor pain, per se. Like that feeling that something is coming about, something is changing, a new arrival, something, that sense of expectancy that you feel that only you, if you've had a child, you understand that. I was feeling that simultaneously while having my cycle. And my cycle came on, it stayed on, for about 5, 6 days. And it went off prior to this eclipse the day before. And so again, I was feeling this energy, the nest, there was a lot of spiritual warfare that I was combating in regard to those that are around me. Um, Not anything overt, but very microaggressions, very covert, but I can still energetically feel it. And so it was definitely a battle in a sense of allowing myself to come to terms with my healing, my awakening, and things about myself that needed to surrender. I definitely felt a sense of experiencing a level of ego death, dark night of the soul, per se. With awakening, it's in different levels and different phases. And so I feel like this was another phase because during this time prior to this solar eclipse, I was confronted with the task of either repeating cycles from the past, karmic cycles from the past, in regard to how I perceive myself to be, what it is that I want for my life, um, the cycles of feeling invalidated, cycles of having others try to stifle me because of their fear of me outgrowing them, whether that is relatives, friends, what have you. That was a major change to confront that because that was a reoccurring theme that kept coming up along my session journey. The feeling of not being understood quite right or being misperceived. Although I have good intentions, they were misperceived. And so a lot of that in invalidation, gaslighting was something that was coming up because it was a core wound that needed to come to terms. So this could also be relevant for you that if you're a twin soul, you and your divine complement, whether you're masculine or feminine, may have been having to harmonize your energy. There may have been things that were triggering or a reflection towards your masculine or vice versa. And so you both may have had to come to terms with those things. During the solar eclipse, now that it has passed, we're still in this energy. You know, I'm feeling a sense of closure. I'm feeling a sense, and even as I say that, there is a bird that just flew by my window. I'm feeling a sense of freedom, of being released of a cage of old thoughts, beliefs, limitations. And as you know, our cycles are synced up with the lunar cycle. So I feel like for some of you, you may be beginning to experience your cycle during this time. So just understand that with this happening, this is a part of the phase that you're having to go through too, as well. I have been blessed and chosen in a sense that oftentimes things spiritually happen to me like way before it happens to other people. I mean, I'm assuming that this is an aspect of my soul purpose, my life work. And so again, I was dealing with some major demonic interference, gang stalking. Okay, those that were benefiting in the past off of my genuine nature. Now that I rose to my place of power, now that my divine feminine energy has risen, they misperceive my need for healthy boundaries as not only being arrogant, being egotistical, being rude, being a straight up bitch, and none of those apply. It's just that with me standing up, it makes them fall down that were literally trying to treat me like a doormat. And so this major shift energetically brought about so much peace to me. Um, and let me really check myself about things that I may not have been aware of. This is the importance of understanding the value in all feedback, in particular the feedback you get from your divine masculine. There's things that may seem unfair, may seem unjust when it comes to you in that connection. But there are things that are being triggered in order for you to realize that, okay, the reason why this is resonating and painful or triggers a very visceral response within you is because it's something that is rooted. It's something that's fractured on a deep level, a spiritual level, a psychological level as well, a subconscious level. There's value in that. So even during this time, many of you may be in some level of separation with your divine soul, your twin soul. Whatever reason it is, understand that this is a path of ascension for both of you. Right now, we have entered into this rebirth phase, as I mentioned, going through those labor pains energetically, and now feeling a sense of having pushed the baby out, like feeling a sense of peace, feeling a sense of knowing that by being in tune with my emotions, with my intuition, and being regulated within that, honoring my perception of things, and also being able to check and course correct myself is such a beautiful feeling. I'm so grateful to be on the other side and cross over from a space of um, limerence. I was also in a space of ruminating over things that were painful. And the universal God will allow Yahshua, Yahweh will allow you to experience certain things at times, and it may even increase until you're able to endure and go through it. So if you've had to endure, you've had to really step into the power of who you are, whether you're masculine or feminine, know that this is all a part of their journey. And now we are entering into this new timeline, this new spiritual timeline, and it just feels like literally divine alignment. Like to see this total solar eclipse was such a beautiful experience. I was able to see it with my younger son, and just to see the direct alignment in real time, and just energetically, I'm just feeling like I don't know whether there's carbon data that was released, more than likely it was, but it's just a sense of like peace and relief that just washed over me. Um, I just want you to be encouraged that right now, many of the divine feminines, with this lunar energy aligning with the solar energy, this is representing the masculine and the feminine coming into alignment, the yin yang. So even if There may have been situations that transpired when it comes to you and your divine complement. Oftentimes, it is all for the greater good. It's for the individuation process, it's for you to shift into a higher timeline, into a just aligning with your higher self. And I'm definitely feeling that I'm aligned with my higher self now. Happy healing, happy ascension. You've made it to the other side. Trust that you continue to work on yourself, you continue to evolve, okay? Knowing that even though, there may have been demonic interference that may have came into your life for whatever reason, you may have felt that it was unjust, and it may have been, but it was bringing about something in you to be healed. It was bringing up core wounds for you to confront and either pass the test or de-evolve. Thankfully, you were able to pass the test. You were able to rise above things that people were doing towards you, betrayals, just all kind of things people may have been doing towards you out of their own wounds, out of their own spiritual journey, or their resistance to a spiritual journey. But by you taking the time to really embrace this process and not allow yourself to be stuck in, you know, your process of surviving these things. Okay? With this process, you may have had to assert your boundaries. You may have had to stand up for yourself, and it may not have always been pretty. You may have had to use words that you don't really, feel proud of. But Spirit is wanting you to allow yourself to have self compassion and grace. Repent. Allow yourself to step into this newness of shifting from survival to thriving. I'm definitely picking up that there's so many that are beginning to understand that the worst is over. You've made it past a major hurdle, a major threshold, healing from things that may have been hurtful towards you, healing from karmic situations. And by doing so, you're about to experience the best years yet to come. For many of you, your ascension is aligned to the point where you're not going to have to be concerned about the things, the mundane, because you've done the work, you've endured. You're going to be blessed. God is blessing you with resources, with financial resources, with emotional, spiritual. All your needs are being met. And it's even going to go into the next total solar eclipse, which will probably be within 20 years. Like, it's going to be that beautiful for you for that long. So congratulations, you've made it. Stay true, and until next time, by Pioneer Thrive. I am Aura.